Hello there and welcome back to the HullCityFanCentral YouTube channel, where today I'll be cracking through who has been Hull City's best player over the past 10 seasons. We'll be cracking through each season, having a look at who was the best player during that season, and then at the end I will name who I think Hull City's best player has been over the past 10 seasons. We are including this season, so we'll crack straight into that one. We're just over halfway through this season and there's been one standout man. Jayden Philogene, what a bargain this has been. Aston Villa are currently crying in their socks as Philogene kissed the badge in that big 1-0 win over Millwall on Saturday. He's had a fantastic start to his time at Hull City. Even having an injury problem through December into January, it hasn't been too much of a problem for Philogene and his magic. Contributing with 12 goal contributions so far this season, and he's not slowing down anytime soon. Philogene is currently top of the barrel. From the 2022-23 season, it was a defensive masterclass on all parts as Rosinia came in, tightened up the defence, and we saw the second half of our season being the true display of defence. You could make claims for Jacob Greaves and Sean McLaughlin to grab it, but it has to go for the Rolls Royce of defenders, Alfie Jones. He got picked up by Liam Rosinia to get the manager's player of the season, and what a season he had. He became the true spearhead of that second half of the season, getting us clean sheets, getting us results through his defensive performance. I still don't think that his performance last season beats what we've seen so far from Philogene, so Philogene is still top of the pops. The 2021-2022 season was scraping the bottom of the barrel for Hull City as we narrowly stayed in the league a few games before the end of the season. There was a few standout performances, not least from Richie Smallwood, who was a main man week in, week out alongside George Honeyman, but I will give it to Richie Smallwood as I don't think that he put a foot wrong for majority of the time. Still, as I was saying, scraping the bottom of the barrel, so he hasn't quite beaten Philogene from this season. COVID lockdown season of 2020-2021 was a big one for Hull City as we grabbed our first league title in over 55 years. And through that there was many standout performances, not least from Malik Wilkes, who is now off the radar, and also the man who I have picked, George Honeyman. He was a real talent during that season. Never stopped running, never stopped producing moments for us as we managed to grab the League One title. Of course, you can make an argument saying that his average performance there is better than Philogene's at the moment, but let's not forget that that was during a League One season with closed doors, no fans involved. So I probably will say that Philogene this season is narrowly better than George Honeyman from the League One season, but that one is the closest so far. 2019-2020 season was a disappointment for Hull City to say the least. We went from promotion candidates with one of the best teams in the league to then rocking ourselves down to dead last come the final game of the season. That was in part due to us selling two of our best players, Jared Bowen and Kamil Grzycki. I will say that Jared Bowen was the best player for Hull City during that season, even though he didn't finish it with us. And his performances in that season really stated why he needed that move to West Ham, and now why he's gone on to do so many brilliant things, like scoring the winning goal in a European final. Jared Bowen in the 2019-2020 season is now the top dog. The 2019-2020 version of Jared Bowen isn't staying top for long, as he will be pipped off by the 2018-2019 version of him. This season was the catalyst for Jared Bowen, really making him a championship force to be reckoned with, and proving why he is one of Hull City's best players that we've had come through the doors in recent memory. The Bowen overtakes Bowen, as Jared Bowen from 2018-2019 is currently the best player over the past 10 seasons. The 2017-2018 season for Hull City was kind of a weird middle ground, as we just saw relegation from the Premier League the season beforehand. It was a tough one to pick the best player. I'd had to go for Michael Hector, who put out a good performance and was pretty consistent despite the lack of results for the Tigers. With that, I don't think that Michael Hector will trouble Jared Bowen for the spot at number one, so Jared Bowen from the season afterwards still remains the top dog. A bit of a surprise one now for the 2016-2017 season, as I'm going to give it to Harry Maguire. He had a very strong season at Hull, and this was the season where Harry Maguire made that move to Leicester City, which then forced the biggest transfer fee of a defender in English football history from him to move to Manchester United. Harry Maguire was a rock at the back for Hull City during this this season, even contributing with a few goals during that time, and really made himself known as one of the best defenders, certainly in East Yorkshire. And unfortunately, Slabhead doesn't manage to knock off Bowen at the top. We're now cracking into the big dogs in the 2015-2016 season, and there was only one man really that could be at the top, and that was Abel Hernandez. Whoa! Yes, Abel Hernandez is my best player from the 2015-2016 season, as he had a nice record breakout season for the Tigers. This was the season where he really standpointed himself as one of the Hull City's best goal-scoring assets. His form this season was a little bit off and on, which is why I'm not knocking him over Bowen at the top of the table. One last season to go, and that's the 2014-2015 season, which was a weird season for Hull City. To say that during this season was competing in the Europa League, and also we had a few troubles behind the scenes with some dodgy going-ons. On the pitch, there was really only one man that really came to the spotlight, and that was Andy Robertson, of course now the Liverpool left-back. Robertson, who signed for us during that season in a double transfer with Harry Maguire on the same day, and he really shone during that season. So, is Robertson from 2014-2015 better than the Jared Bowen that we saw in 2018-2019? I'm going to say no. So Jared Bowen is the best Hull City player from the past 10 seasons, but the 2018-2019 version of him. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments down below if you think I've made a huge mistake or if you think that I've nailed it spot on. Make sure you like and subscribe, as we'll have plenty more Hull City news and content like this, and go and follow me over on Twitter to get a live up to date on everything Hull City. Up the Tigers!